Hello folks. Wow, I'm dark, aren't I? Kind of a shadowy figure. Anyway, it's night time. Hello, it's Dom Lawson here from the Metal Hammers magazine with another Iron Sandwich. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, these are going to be more regular, so apologies in advance. There you go. Yes, this... God. Yeah, the things I do for you people. This album is by a band called Issues. It's their self-titled debut on Rise Records, which is nice. Well, I suppose the problem with this is, I know there will be some people thinking, well, he's just going to slag it off, isn't he? I'll get to that in a bit. I mean, honestly, they didn't start off well for me, this band, because there's something to do with another band called Woe Is Me. And you may be familiar with Woe Is Me because they spell their name for some reason. Sorry, well, it's nothing to do with the spelling, but they write it Woe, comma, is me. Now that's just stupid. Why is that comma there? There's no pause required in the phrase Woe Is Me. It's not Woe Is Me. That's weird. That's just grammatically incorrect and makes you look stupid. So, apologies to the band. Don't know if I like their music or not. Probably not, I'm guessing, given that they can't even, harness the powers of grammar to the positive good. But anyway, so that set me off badly. I thought, well, I'm not going to like them. They couldn't string a sentence together, mind you, nor can I. But then I'm much better written down than I am talking. So you wonder why I'm doing this, really, on that basis. But anyway... beard's still here, by the way. Anyway, they're called Issues, right? Okay, and they were sold to me, via various press releases and all the rest of it, as a kind of combination of metal and R&B, effectively, or pop of some description. This is where it all goes horribly wrong for me, to be honest with you. Now, I suppose you could say, oh well, Dom, you're 41 years old, you're a middle-aged man with a stupid beard. Why on earth should we listen to your opinions on issues? Well, yeah, that's absolutely right. Why should you? But I'm going to tell you anyway, because that's the whole point of this. So there's no point in bothering if I'm just going to sit here and go, well, don't want to offend anybody. If Issues are your favourite band, then good for you. I hope it makes you very happy. Anyway, but I don't object in principle to the idea behind this band, right? Okay, so they've obviously got bored of playing generic metalcore or whatever it was, or deathcore, and decided to do something more interesting. They obviously like their pop music and their R&B, so they've cobbled it together, riffs and pop songs or whatever. I can't be bothered to explain it more eloquently than that. That's basically the gist of it. I think they made some reference in the press release to top 40 pop or whatever, so okay, fine. In principle, I don't have a problem with that. I like pop music, but not all of it, obviously, because a lot of it is really fucking shit. But a lot of it's really good as well, and I grew up listening to pop music, as most of us do. So I have no objection to that, and I have no objection to metal being mixed with things. I love the metal and dubstep crossover stuff that I've heard. I love Skin Dread. I love all kinds of bands that have mixed, jazz and God knows what else into metal. I'm not a purist by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm not, although I am a 41-year-old man with a stupid beard, I'm not, I don't think, especially narrow-minded about music. So I thought, great, Issues might be good, who knows, don't have a problem with that. But unfortunately, it's kind of my worst nightmare, really. I mean, it starts off all right, this album, okay? It's quite an interesting intro thing with funny noises, and then you hear a bit of turntable scratching and whatever, and God, I sound so fucking old when I say that. Well, scratching, what else do you call it? And I'd heard that they were kind of, people were saying Issues are bringing new metal back or whatever. I can't hear any new metal on this album at all, except for some bad rapping at one point, which was, of Shinoda levels of expertise, but whatever. We can't all be good at rapping. So yeah, it starts off okay. Then a riff kicks in, and it's not the worst riff you've ever heard. That is the one thing this album does have, is quite a lot of decent riffs. It's a kind of, I suppose, a cross between a new metal-y thing and a genty techie thing, really. Some of the riffs are very much from the tech metal and gent end of the whatever it is I'm talking about. I shouldn't do these things when I'm tired. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, and then the harsh vocals kick in, and honestly, he really isn't a particularly good harsh vocalist. There are thousands of them out there, and there's a pecking order. I don't make the rules. He's just not that good at it, but he's all right. It's just very kind of standard, I would say, for a young American metal band to have a guy that screams all right. It's kind of okay, but nothing exceptional at all. But anyway, so quite heavy, quite interesting. It's kind of, it's very much of a type of metal that you have to be. You're probably more likely to be a scene kid than you are to be somebody wearing a Sabaton shirt. That's a given, right? And that's fine. Each to their own, blah, fucking blah. But yes, then the chorus kicks in, and the singer, I believe the singer's name is Tyler, and the problem is Tyler's a surname. It's not a first name, is it? And it just makes me think of Martin Tyler off the football on the telly. Don't know why. So I've got it in my head that Martin Tyler's the lead singer in Issues. I'm sure that can't be right. I doubt it. He just doesn't look like he'd have this voice. But anyway, the kid starts singing. He's probably 28. The guy starts singing Tyler. His mum's called Bonnie, presumably. That doesn't even work, Dom. I don't know why he said that. Yeah, so then of course, sorry, I'm just gibbering. It's because this album's so upsetting, really. Basically, he starts singing, and it does sound like top 40 pop, but this is the real problem with this band, is it sounds like that really horrible top 40 pop. It doesn't sound like the good pop records that come out every now and again. There's plenty of decent pop music out there, but this sounds like the really awful stuff that you hear in fucking, women's clothes shops and stuff. I wouldn't know about men's clothes shops, because I've always avoided them. I buy all my clothes from women's clothes shops. Yeah, it's just vile. I've got to be honest, it's horrible. And his voice is okay, but he sounds like he's in a boy band. He doesn't sound like a man with a beard, which I would prefer, given the option. He just sounds like he hasn't started shaving. And yes, it has got that kind of pop, fourth-rate Justin Timberlake kind of thing going on. But, he's no Patrick Stump. Do you know what I mean? He's not somebody that's got a distinctive and powerful voice. It just sounds like... It sounds like the Disney Channel. That's what it sounds like. My daughter, who's 10, and obviously surly and largely indifferent to anything I say, she likes to watch sitcoms, and I'm being generous calling them that, on the Disney Channel. And there's quite often music in these things. There's like a song at the end of the show, and the blokes all sound like Matey from Issues when they sing. I don't know if he's auto-tuned or not. It sounds like it's auto-tuned. It may just be the production that now that everything that I hear that I don't like sounds auto-tuned. I don't know, but it's just horrid, and it's so wet. It's so wet, this record, right? It's not. The problem is the heavy bits are kind of all right, I don't have a problem with when the heavy bits are going on, the scratching, and they throw the kitchen sink at it. It's got all sorts of funny noises and bits from dubstep and everything thrown in. It's not. I don't know the proper words for these things. I'm 41, but it's all right. But then the chorus, every time the chorus kicks in, it's like being sucked back into the 90s and being forced to watch the Backstreet Boys or something. It's just horrible. And it makes me sad. I find it so draining listening to it. And there's a couple of appalling bits. There's a song, the second track on the album is called "Mad at Myself," and the guy who does the harsh vocals goes, "I'm so mad at myself," and it's just funny. I'm really, really cross with myself. Naughty me. What? What's that? Don't write a song about that. I'm quite cross with myself. Really. And the thing is, they don't sound mad at themselves at all. They don't sound particularly upset. They just sound like they're having a good time being in a not particularly great band, But I'm mad at myself. Jesus, weird. No, I'm so mad. I've even written it down here just in case I forgot. I'm so mad at myself. Grr. Fucking hell. There's the guy with the harsh vocals again. I've noted a couple of things down here. I've got to be honest. There's the guy with the harsh vocals does something on a song called "The Langdon House," which is otherwise unremarkable. But I just honestly, I've listened to this album 3 times now just to be sure that I was being fair, and that bit made me laugh out loud every time. It's just, I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's a lovely chap. And maybe he's incredibly tough. I don't know, but that just doesn't come across when he's growling and screaming. It does sound like somebody who's got the, gone to the McDonald's drive-thru and ended up with the wrong order, just kind of kicking off, like a 12-year-old. It's just not good. Not good at all. Things I like about it, I think the album ends, I can't remember what the song's called, Disappear or something like that. But it ends with the horrid chorus that has gone before that Martin Tyler was singing. It's kind of reprised by a gospel choir, and actually that bit's quite nice because I like a gospel choir and they sing things like they mean it, whereas the rest of the album, they just honestly sound like they're just singing specifically to irritate me. I think I think that's what it is. I kind of wanted this to be better than it is, really, or less awful than it is, because in a way I like the idea. There's a track on Ironworks by the Dillinger Escape Plan where they very obviously kind of nod towards Justin Timberlake, and it's brilliant, and Greg's voice is brilliant, and it works. And then there's more crazy Dillinger stuff, and it's just fucking brilliant. But sustained over a whole album with a singer who's not that great, a fairly bad, harsh vocalist, and God help me, I've written it down here again. There's a track called Tears on the Runway, Part 2. Well, I feel distraught that I haven't heard Part 1. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's all explained in Part 1. I don't know. But apparently it features somebody called Nilo, which is just made me think of nylon. I don't know if that's the idea. Who I assume is the pleasant lady who sings at the beginning of the song. Oh my God. I get it, there'll be plenty of people watching this who like that kind of pop music, and that's fine. If you do, and you don't mind your metal being fucked around with by people who clearly don't know what they're doing and adding something awful to it, then that's fine. I hope you enjoy it. Seriously, wonderful. I'm sure it's very exciting and cutting edge or whatever. But it's just bad. It's just bad. This girl singing, it just sounds like something awful off the Disney Channel again. Or some ghastly pop record that I've never heard of. I kind of know what's in the charts most of the time because I have a look at the chart every week and all the rest of it. But I don't listen to Radio 1. I don't listen to pop radio. So there's a lot of stuff that I've missed recently, and I can only assume that there's an awful lot of this kind of shit. But it just, oh God. She's got a nice voice, but, I don't want to hear it on a metal record. Which leads me to what I was thinking when I was listening to it the first time through. It's like I know those of us who kind of pontificate and go on and on and on about heavy metal and how it's important and the culture and all that. I'm sure people think we're dicks. I don't really care. It's something I care about. I'm passionate about it, and I know because of the amount of stupid pricks on the internet who troll people and go, oh, it's not metal all the time, that anybody who says, yeah, but it's not metal, instantly gets the response, oh, you're just being narrow-minded, and it's like, oh, everyone's an idiot, fuck off. But I was just wondering, where do you draw the line? It's like, I love heavy metal and I don't mind if people mix it with things. I think that's quite cool. Good. A lot of interesting music's come out of that, a lot of great music. But where do you draw the line? And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that this album is where I draw the line. It has metal elements in it, but it's not a metal record in spirit or execution. It's something else, and that's fine if you dig that. I draw the line here. It's just no. There are things that it's better than. It's better than Bullet for My Valentine. It's better than Nickelback. It's better than Linkin Park. Just for 3 random examples that just popped into my head. But it's not better than a lot of other things that I would rather listen to. So that's my issues review. I'm really sorry. Sorry about the ladies' clothes shop thing earlier as well. I don't know where that came from. I think it's because I spent a lot of time in ladies' clothes shops with my sisters and then my ex, my mum when I was a kid. And I just don't go to men's. You can tell I don't go to men's clothes shops. Now you think that I hang around in ladies' clothes shops. Well, maybe I do. not conspicuous at all with the stupid beard. Right, thanks folks, this was Mine Sandwich. Really sorry to issues if you're watching this, nothing personal, I'll buy you a pint, it's fine, but it's really not good. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, more of this bollocks soon. Way! Exciting times.